Hello and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon video with me, Bubblebox, and today we're back on the Bubble and Silver and Vulcan Do Deck series. Please do check out Vulcan's channel, Vulcan HD Gaming, if you haven't done so already. So we're on the map, Gunboat Diplomacy. It's a conquest up to 750 points. We're up against a very good team today, and we are using our our Eastern Bloc decks that we made in the deck building video, which I'll put a link for in the description below. But you can see that we're putting up a kind of a defense in Charlie here on the right, and the enemy's putting up kind of a defense as well in Alpha. I'm putting some recon out on the trees. Both teams doing exactly the same thing, and trying to flood the center with infantry. So the enemy bringing in lots of infantry, a little bit of AA, some short range AA to stop any choppers there. SAS have got hammered already there, just in the centre there by these OSAs. They're bringing in a Mirage, probably going to drop some napalm somewhere on the bridge perhaps to stop us getting control of that side. Now we're bringing in a load of infantry, me and Vulcan, and their team obviously is going to be bringing in a load of infantry. Now what they do, it's interesting, is they drop smoke just in front of their infantry so they can push their infantry right across this open ground towards these buildings here, which they want to try and engage us in. And they've got a VAB here. I don't know what that's going to have in it. We'll soon have to look when they drop out. Got some Formosas taking some shots at them as they go past. One VAB gets taken out. In fact, it's recon infantry. It's the Commandos Paras, which are quite good infantry in their own right. And they've dropped some Gurkhas here right next to Vulcan's Pakotas. As I bring in my Topazes and OTs full of Zelonishkis, which are the militia infantry, which I've got so many of. They only cost 5 points. I just drop them off into that building, and I've got some Berettis here, which are a much better infantry group with close quarters combat machine guns. So I've got some nice infantry there. They've got some nice Livgartens. These are really nice infantry as well from the Danish. And they've got these recon infantry on the left here engaging as well, as they bring in some cheaper but very effective Panzer Strikers here from the Swedish side. And some SBS there from the Brits. Vulcan's dropped off his Pakotas. He's brought in quite a lot of these Pakotas, I believe, at the start. There's some just sitting back there, and he's also got some recon which just get taken out. They're getting their actual vehicles in some nice positions here to support their infantry. Our vehicles are also supporting. Got the ZSUs here. Moderna there has actually already whether it's been hit. It can't have fired off that many from its autocannon, or maybe it could have done. Maybe it shot all its units. Yeah, it has. It's actually used all its autocannon ammo already on the sheer massive artillery that flooded into our region. Now you can see they've got a little bit of a foothold here. They've got quite a lot of infantry in these buildings. As I bring in, or someone, it's Vulcan, brings in a couple of Su-22s to try to drop right on top of those guys. I'm not sure if they dropped or not actually. But you can see, it looks like my ZSUs have run completely out of ammo as well as Vulcan's Moderna, as he brings in a Kolos to try to resupply, and he brings in an Mi-24D with some infantry in just to try and back us up a little bit. Not sure if that's going to get too close. It's taking some shots. There's an LVRB back there. Oh, is it out of ammo? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just out of range. It's just trying to, you can see it's just trying to get an angle on Vulcan's Mi-24D as Vulcan drops his infantry out. And is he going to get that chopper out? He's just managing to keep behind the smoke actually of the enemy. So yeah, that's going to get away. That's nice. Actually drops some nice, oh, it's just been hit. Manages to drop some nice Commandoses out just to protect our flank there. Now we're bringing in a lot more infantry here in trucks, Vulcan and myself. And Silveraptor joining in as well, bringing in some fire support as well, maybe some napalm type infantry. Now I do get some of these RM70s. They do cost 100 points each, just to try to hit this massive infantry that we assume are in these buildings. Now we can't see a lot of the infantry that are attacking us, of course, but I assume they're all still there. In retrospect, it might have been better just to bring in 300 points worth of more of infantry to battle their massive infantry rather than bringing in 3 100 point rocket artillery, which take quite a long time to refuel, but that's the way I played it in the game. Can't go back and replay it. But anyway, the battle continues in the middle here, and you can see there's an area of ground here which is being fiercely fought over. This area in the middle here, which is ground we really must try to hold if we're to come anywhere in this game. Now we do have a 1-point lead at the moment in this game because we have got Charlie and they haven't yet taken Alpha, but they are bringing a command in for Alpha now by the looks of it. Now it's interesting that because obviously when people that are used to playing Conquest, they know that taking ground is the most important thing, and the enemy have done just that. They've taken a little bit more ground than us. They've managed to secure this side of the river and get a good foothold on our side of the river as well, which has given them the initiative really at the start of this game. So we've got to try and break this somehow if we can. At the moment, it's just a matter of bringing in a lot more infantry and trying to destroy all of their infantry that they've got in these buildings. Now, they are bringing in some resupply trucks now to try and buff up their infantry. Su-22s going in from Silveraptor, from Vulcan, I think that was, or was it Silveraptor? I can't remember. Dropping their payload just over the bridge there. And I bring in my MiG-29-9s just to try to, again, deal with this massive infantry in the buildings here. So in goes the napalm and drops fairly nicely, especially this front one here, as Vulcans and Berettas continue to try to hold back. These Marder ones just dropped out a bunch of Panzer Grenadiers. These Panzer Grenadiers are, always see these in Conquest games. They're kind of cheap, but very, very, well, not cheap. They're kind of a medium rifle infantry with a close quarters combat machine gun, but very, very effective, cost-effective units. They brought in a big Challenger 1 as my MiG goes in for another bombing run there, straight across their Panzer Grenadiers. Should help these Zalaniskis hopefully fight off these Panzer Grenadiers. The Challengers managed to get some shots off. Have we got anything? We haven't really got anything that can take on this Challenger Mark 1 or Challenger 1 Mark 1. Vulcan there, just microing his Naberskis round to protect our flank. Marder 1's coming around the flank as well. Engaging with this Scott 2, gets a couple of Malyutkas off. Hopefully he can hit these Marder ones. In fact, they both miss, unfortunately. Drops off 2 more squads of Panzer Grenadiers, which make their way towards Silveraptor's support crew there. We've also got a couple of EOTS Hawks sitting there. Really, really nice units. Non-radar, long range, and can attack planes. Very, very effective against planes. Now what the enemy's also brought in are these lovely Centurion Avars. They're bringing in all the units I love. These Centurion Avars can be really, really effective against infantry. They've got a massive HE power. I think it's 7 or 8. Where is it? I've lost it. Here it is. HE power of 8. It's like a basically close-up artillery unit against infantry. Now who's this? Silveraptor's bringing in some T-72s to try and provide us with a little bit of support as well. I'm bringing in more militia infantry and OT-810s, really cheap trucks. Silveraptor's Mi-26 got 25 chopper got hit there. Has he still got his Moderna firing away? Yep, his Moderna there, still doing some damage to the enemy. And you can see they continue to pour in more and more rifle infantry. They've got some Jaeger Panzers. These are quite cheap but fairly effective units for infantry support. And they've taken nice control over here. We have got a command, of course. Both got a command on Echo, which is neutralising the position in Echo. The enemy now have got their 1-point lead because they did get the 2 points there from Alpha. And they are starting to catch us up in points. So as we stand at the moment, yeah, it's all hands to the decks in the middle here, with them just having the kind of a little bit of the advantage in the middle, having taken all of these buildings. We've still got a decent foothold here though. We just need to keep pouring in the infantry. The artillery continues to rain in from the RM70s when they eventually get reloaded, of course. But they're consolidating their position here, getting a bit of recon over there on this side as well, just to make sure we can't sneak anything around the side, I guess. But more Marder ones, probably full of Panzer Grenadiers, Jaeger Panzers, more Centurion Avars, Fuchs, Not sure what they've got in them. We'll have a look when they unload. These lift gardens are nice as well. We're fighting them off with my little militia infantry doing their best against what is a very strong squad of Gurkhas. Gurkhas are light rifle squads with nice heat, anti-tank weapons and a close quarters machine gun as well. Vulcan's prams doing their usual good job here, firing the machine gun and their main weapon as well. And this battle really does show off the infantry support vehicles, which are doing such a good job. The Marder ones here with their little auto cannons, even the M113A1s, which usually you just don't see getting involved in battles. Even they're providing support, look, for their infantry here, and even getting buffed up in the process as that Fuchs comes into the battle. We'll see what these guys drop out from last. It's Jaegers. Okay, so Fuchs full of Jaegers. Attacking this little compound here with my militia infantry in, getting a lot of support from these M113A1s and the two now Fuchs. One's been destroyed. So these are Zalanishis looking, yeah, a little bit ragged there now. Got some Jadnotskis providing a bit of support, the rocket artillery coming in, and some more napalm being dropped from my two planes. More Jager Parsas coming in. Oh, they've brought in some infantry in these STRFs. These are fantastic infantry fighting vehicles again with their Bofors L70 kind of cannons on board, almost like one of the ship cannons stuck on top of a chassis. Take a breath, and yep, it's all still happening in the middle. Now we are under severe pressure. We're looking a little bit weak. We've still got the Vulcan's Commandosis here on the right, just protecting our flank, managing to kill some units here. Looks like they've managed to kill those Gurkhas, which killed my militia infantry on the left here. The Jaegers have managed to kill my militia infantry on the right here, though, and managed to get a little foothold here. And as they push forward with these cheap 20-point Jager Panzers to try to offer a little bit of support on this side. As my flak is starting to get engaged, is like the Tunguska-like weapons from the Eastern Bloc, for the Eastern Bloc. I bring in an MI4 just to try and see what's going on over here, and to try and shoot down anything that's coming across the open ground here. So I have responded a little bit with choppers now, bringing in a couple of choppers, and we're bringing in some prams from Vulcan and Moderna, more prams, and I'm bringing in my Su-24Ms for a bombing run. My MiG-29s have gone in for a bombing run as well, but these EOS-TS Hawks take them out this time. And they brought in a Eurofighter just at the right time to take out that plane that came in for a run there. Now the choppers have opened up on the Jaegers and these little trucks here. Should get rid of them nicely, yeah. And firing hopefully can get rid of these Jaegers from this compound. Yep, do that as well. So hopefully we can perhaps retake that compound, although they've got Centurion Avras, Panzer Grenadiers moving up. Another big napalm round in there, rocket artillery firing in as well, trying to slow them down. These choppers, although they're really good, they don't contain a lot of ammo, and with the sheer numbers of units, with only kind of 4 anti-tank weapons and 4 infantry weapons on each of my choppers, they can only do so much to hold back this big push in the centre here. Now they have managed to encroach on our area here in these buildings with these lift gardens and some Panzer Grenadiers they've got in there as well, backed up with these SDRFs. My Zalanishis again looking a bit ragged here against these superior infantry, as I bring in some Berettis now. A nice squad of 60 Berettis, or 58 that are left, going to slot hopefully into that building, although they've been stunned already, probably by this Marder 2 shooting across at them from the open ground, and the Centurion Avra taking a shot as well, stuns them even more. These Centurion Avras so strong. That one just sitting in the perfect position there, just to take some shots at the Berettis here. So I need these to unstun themselves and get firing and get in that building. You can see there were a 38 squad. Now we're down to an 18 squad. They've started, and they're stunned again. Managed to finally get into the building and shoot back, and hopefully can deal with these lift gardens at least, and maybe with the Panzer Grenadiers as well. You can see them smoking here. They're just smoking at the tree line here now, so that we can't get shots across with the Modernas, and our units sitting in the tree line, so they can take control of the compound here. MiG-29-9 coming in, and again with another bombing run. The EOTS Hawks shooting at it immediately, and I think it just about gets out of that time. More rocket artillery coming in just to try and slow them down. We're bringing in lots of resupply trucks now just to buff up their units to keep their push going forward probably, and yet more infantry and some flak panzers coming in as well. So as we stand at the moment, the enemy have got a 1-point lead. They've overtaken us in the overall points lead, and we are a little bit on the back foot with the enemy having the initiative in the middle here. So what can we do here? Well, we can try and attack the flanks. We're probably not going to be able to push through this mass of units. Of course, we don't know exactly what the enemy has got there. To put it on to my point of view briefly. You know, we don't know what the enemy... We know they've got a lot of stuff. We can see all this stuff trying to push forward. We can't see the flanks though. We don't know what they've got on their flanks, recon-wise. They don't know what we've got on our flanks either. If we quickly look at it from their point of view, in case you're interested in that as well, that's what they can see. So they can't really see our flanks either. And they can see quite a number of our units in the middle though, as we can see quite a number of their units in the middle as well. So... continue to bring in more infantry, and Topaz is here from Vulcan, and yeah, Vulcan mainly bringing in more infantry with his prams as well. Got some again choppers from Vulcan and from Silveraptor doing a good job, but again because of the lack of ammo and the sheer number of the enemy, they soon run out and have to return for a refill. So Vulcan's infantry coming in on the action. We've almost been pushed out of this compound now, and we've been pushed right back to the tree line. And they've managed to sneak in their infantry, Canadian rifles, Panzer Strikers, Panzer Grenadiers. They're all there as the Panzer Grenadiers jump forward and hit the Moderna with a couple of RPGs. The Moderna's immediately pulled back by Vulcan, so he manages to save that. He's got a supply truck here, hopefully that can resupply that Moderna, get it buffed up so it can go forward. Again, we've got some Zalaniskis from me here, just trying to protect the tree line. They're not going to probably hold up to a set of Panzer Strikers and Canadian rifles though. We've got the Noversky Berettis, but some more infantry coming up here from Vulcan in his Topaz and his OT-64C. But as I say that, the enemy continuing to reinforce with more infantry, more nice infantry fighting vehicles in the Fuchs and the Marder 2s. And the Jager 2s, Jager's just trying to push forward. We've got a few infantry in this little compound here. We're actually still holding this area. And the Leica Picotas have taken a pounding. Yeah, the Centurion Avars there got a nice angle on those Picotas. And you can see how much damage those Avars do when they do get an angle and manage to take out some infantry there. So it looks like they've tried to sneak around with the Lynx and thought better of it when they probably spotted the recon or something, I'm not sure, but he's sending his Lynx back, John. Rocket artillery coming in again not doing enough damage really, just stunning, and then they kind of recover from the stun and come forward again, so not as effective as you'd like them to be really. But Vulcan does push forward his Berettis, but unfortunately there's so much stuff, and you can see it's immediately engaged by 3 or 4 squads and infantry fighting vehicles, and he has to pull them back. He's got another set of Berettis here. Valiant attempt to try to get a foothold in this building, but you can see just the sheer. He's got a flak panzer just moved across into the gap there as well, firing right across into these Berettis as some more rocket artillery comes in. They've even brought in a Challenger 2 now. We have managed, or Vulcan's managed, to bring in some more Berettis on this side. Hopefully, as long as they don't get too much support from their fighting vehicles, he can manage to engage the enemy here and do them some damage. His Moderna is pulling back. He's got another Moderna sitting on top of the hill here, actually. Has that got a line of sight? That's actually got a line of sight on the enemy, so a nice position there for the Moderna, although it's just taken a rocket in the face for its troubles. And the Centurion Avars are trying to be microed around the side here to engage these Berettis. They're also starting to bring in some Kylers with their lovely autocannons. And it looks like Vulcan's decided to try and take some units down the side here. Of course, we can't see what they've got. Well, we can see here what they've got down the side, but as far as Vulcan's perspective concerned, didn't really know. And what are our options here? Really, are flank attacks. We're not going to push through the mass in the middle. It's possible we could do a flank attack and try to get around the sides. We've got to do something because this is Conquest, of course, and the enemy... Oh, MiG-29 is going in for another bombing run. The EOTS Hawks immediately firing off. Take out one. And take out, this time, my MiGs go down. Not even sure if they got their payload off that time. But it's the end of my MiGs. They did well. They got a few nice bombing runs in there. But finally went down to those, well, probably one of the best anti-air in the game because they are very long range and they are not radar guided. So they can just sit there and fire all day long and not have to worry about seed. So it looks like Vulcan's just brought his Modernas back for a second. Silveraptor's got a Moderna up there as well. That Eurofighter continuing to do the rounds. And here comes Vulcan's Mi-24D flank attack. But he's been spotted here by Snake Dock. And you can see they've spotted him probably from this recon unit sitting in the little tree line here. So he's going to land there and try to attack this little compound where the Canadian Rifles are residing. Battle's continuing in the middle, of course. Now they've brought these Centurion Avras right around the flank here and they're pushing through the tree line with them. And they've got 3 Kylers as well with their autocannons and some Marder 2s here. So they're going to try and push us out of this tree line now. Now, they have actually already got rid of the command, as you can see, which gives them now a 2-point lead. As a Fighting Falcon coming in to attack the infantry, the Commandoses. In fact, it misses, actually. Oh, 2 more. Another Fighting Falcon, an F-111, and a Draken. Wow, that is going to be a massive payload right on top of the Commandoses. Woof. They're not going to survive that. Wow. There's a Super Etendard. I'm not sure what that's doing. Maybe it's after the Modernas. I'm not sure. But maybe a bit wary as to go in. Rocket Artie's firing again. Unfortunately, that flank attack did get completely bombed. They brought some Fennec 20mm in there as well, just to check for any more infantry maybe. I'm not sure. Now, I do try my own little flank attack on this side. I bring in a bunch of Mi-4s. Not the best choppers in the world, but I have used these before in a game, if you remember back, or if you watch the channel. They were very, very effective in one of my flank attacks. And we'll have to see what they can do. Now, they've got a recon thing here. Now, I didn't notice that, but I decided to keep going anyway. I'm just going to quickly spread these choppers out and then attack into India and into Alpha as well, in the hope of trying to get one or more of their commands. Now, I can't see a lot, remember. If we just go to my perspective briefly, I can't even see this recon chopper here now, although I think I probably saw it as I flew past it. And I was just hoping that they didn't spot it. They were too busy doing what they're doing over on in the middle here. But when I get to this point, they do spot it. And Snake Dock says attack. So they spot. Now, they have got a flak panzer here, unfortunately, which is going to open up on this flat here. They've got some VAB VDAAs with little guns, which they're shooting at as well, and they bring in their Flying Falcons to engage my immediately and their Eurofighter. Now, what they do, they bring in an automatic and a Wolverine. This automatic is going to decimate my Mi-4s and a Kahu coming in, so they're responding with pretty much everything. They've even got some SAS here sitting next to their command, just for this kind of eventuality, I guess, although I do manage to stun the SAS. But with this automatic here, and they're even bringing in a flak panzer, they managed to stop my push around the side there. So a failure there, but they did. You can see what they responded with: all their aircraft, automatic, flak panzer, even a Stormer Wolverine, SAS. They had all their AA out to stop my Mi-4, little Mi-4 spam there. It was a good idea, I think. Probably would have worked against lesser players, but these players obviously had that area. A good team had that area covered. In the meantime, I've kind of missed it a little bit, but they have pushed through here. They started their push, remember, with these Centurion Avras and these lovely Kylers with their autocannons. Brilliant just for pushing through the forests. And they've managed to get all the way and clear all of our units from the forest. I've tried to get these RM70s just to get them to push back. We're responding here. Vulcan's bringing in some T-72s. We've got some Leica Pacotas sitting there. We've got our choppers. So if they do come out into the open, they're going to get cut down, but they kind of know that, and they're just pulling them back. As looks like Vulcan's trying to get around the side here, but oh, they're attacking this compound here with all their bombers. I think they're going to make an assault into that compound, and unfortunately Vulcan's chopper was just sitting there and got bombed on top of, and even an F-111 coming in just to finish the job. And they're probably going to assault that with some infantry and try to take control of that little compound. So in the meantime, we are going to try and get back into this forest. Vulcan's sending in some more Pacotas. I'm flying my choppers, trying to get an angle on some of their medium tanks that they've put into here, and the RM-70 is firing as well. There's a Super Etendard coming really close, attacking what? I don't know, but it's missed. And we're firing back. Got some flak panzers here. Managed to take out that Super Etendard. That's nice. So our options are getting less and less, really. Now what Vulcan does do is try a flank attack now on the left-hand side. And as I keep saying, can't see exactly what they've got. So Vulcan's going to try the flank attack on the other side. Of course, it's pretty much impossible for us to get through this mass of units, and all we can really do in the middle here now is defend. Now if this was a total destruction game, which is what I usually play and which I'm used to, we would have played a little bit more defensively, probably put up more of a defense and try to get them to come onto us to try to kill more units than they kill, basically. But in a conquest you can't really do that, and if you're behind you've got to push forward. So we've got to try and push forward, even if it means taking losses. So there's a Mirage flying around there, not sure where that's going. They've spotted Silveraptor's recon squad on the hill and put an attack marker on it, so he needs to be a little bit careful there, as Silveraptor is using his amphibious ability on his little trucks to put some Scott 1s, and followed by some SPW-80s with some infantry in. Probably going to go around just to try and attack them a little bit on this flank, and maybe even try and take down a command. Of course he doesn't know that they're sitting there with all this stuff. No more attacks on the right hand side. Now Vulcan also is trying to just go back into the middle with his T-72s. Got his Leica Pacotas there, take out a little truck there. Kyler's looking severely damaged here. Hopefully we can take out that Kyler and these Fusiliers with these Leica Pacotas. The Centurion Avras are providing a bit of support there. They won't do too much damage against the tanks, but these Kylers will do some damage against the tanks. We've got an AMX-40 coming in as well, and a big Challenger 2. So Vulcan managed to take out that little group there, but a lot more coming his way, as his little flank attacks are still going on. He's got some fast support and some normal infantry there. No AA, unfortunately. So the enemy still with this 2-point lead, over halfway to victory. And our last chance really of doing anything significant is if Vulcan's flank attack comes off, but with the amount of stuff they've got sitting here, I doubt it. Of course Vulcan can't see that. So it looks like they actually managed to take out a recon unit there. I think they're just kind of bolstering their position. They're bringing out another recon, or Tiger PH2 now. I think they're just kind of, they're not going to be assaulting across here. I don't think. They're just kind of buffing up the area in case we just try to push across the bridge. So hopefully Vulcan with this T-72S can get a shot off, maybe. Yep, it's going to get a shot off on this this armoured truck here carrying a tank weapon. Manages to take one out, and just goes behind the trees there. Doesn't manage quite to get that one off. So Vulcan has been spotted. He's got an attack marker on him, and he's got an F-111 about to drop some bombs all over him. In fact, it's dropping in that position. So Vulcan's been spotted. Oh, and two fighting Falcons with their massive bombs, and the Draken WDNS once again coming out just to try and stop his push. I think they're still attacking this area over here, so they've missed the front infantry as he just tries to micro the infantry at the back out of the way of their bombers, which he manages to do. So he's still got some infantry in there, but they know he's there. He's bringing forward these infantry fighting vehicles now. In fact, are these the anti-aircraft which are good against ground units? I think they might be. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, these, yeah, 50 pointers, nice units, good against helicopters and ground units. And they're bringing forward the Fennec 20mm as well, with their little autocannon, as Vulcan runs away and tries to live to fight another day. Now in the middle, we have managed to kind of push them back a little bit out of the tree line, but not too much. They are getting close to their victory. Because they've managed to get Echo now, they are now 4 points up on us, and somehow, I don't quite know what they did there, but they managed to snipe our command in Charlie. Now whether that was from a plane, as the Tornado ECR managed to take out one of Silveraptor's radar guns, or what, I'm not sure, but it gives them a good lead now as I immediately bring in a command. We will fight this to the death, we will keep going. We're not quitters, so you never know what's going to happen. Maybe we might get a lucky strike on one of their commands, although we're not really targeting their commands. They don't like Vulcan's flank attack though. They've got these Falcons coming in on him again. These great fighting Falcons. Gotta love these if ever you get Scandinavian deck. Oh, can't quite get in there. Oh, missed. Yeah, you got to get these fighting Falcons. They do so much damage and they've got decent ECM and everything. And they are going to finish off if they hit. Well, just manages to get them to the edge of the bombing. But we're in danger of losing now. Back to the centre. They're kind of not pushing forward. They're kind of holding this position now. They've bolstered their flanks. And getting towards their 750 point target. We do try to push back yet again. Our only chance is to get a command onto here, and even then we'd have to snipe their command. F111 coming in. Is it attacking the Modernas? The Modernas getting microed backwards and forwards the whole game, trying to keep them alive. Yep, the Moderna gets taken. The F111 gets taken out. It was attacking the Modernas, but Vulcan manages to pull his Moderna back. They have got Milan 2 sitting here, managed to get through into the edge of the or into that little tree line there. Takes a shot at the Moderna. Oh, it's only on 1 health now. If it gets another shot off, it could take out that Moderna. He's going forward still. And in comes another ATGM. And hits and takes out that Moderna. But that Moderna should take out that Milan too. Oh, that gets hit as well. Oof. So that has to go back. So it looks like the Kylers have counter-attacked yet again into the forest. All we've got now is these LSTRs sitting in the forest here. Oh, that tiger is after our... He's trying to sneak round to get either a CV or perhaps our artillery that's sitting here. We've got a Sopel, my Sopel sitting there for this very eventuality. So hopefully that's going to engage this tiger before it can snipe our command. Gets a nice hit. Oh, yep, takes it out. Brilliant, brilliant, nice. Not going to win us the game, but satisfying when that sort of thing happens. So it looks like Vulcan's little flank attack's been destroyed now in the corner here. Moderna's still going backwards and forwards, killing a lot of units, but just, of course, we haven't got the presence on the battlefield to push them back, of course. So they are charging along to their 750 point target. We are valiantly battling on. We're not going to quit, of course. But while they are continuing, well, I'll just say that this was a really nice game to play. It was really hectic when we were playing it, especially at the start and middle of the game. Although at the moment, we're kind of more defending here, just trying to see the game out, bringing in some more T-72Ms from Vulcan. He continues to try to get them out of this forest so we can get a CV in there, but it's going to be very, very difficult. As I bring in some infantry, just try to push back in, maybe in this corner here, try and get a command in there, but it's unlikely. with them on 705 points. But if ever you want to know how to play a Conquest game, this is it. You bring in lots and lots of infantry with well, not the best infantry, maybe, so kind of medium infantry, good rifle infantry, cheapish kind of rifle infantry, or nice mixture, Panzer Grenadiers and Jaegers if you're on the blue 4. And you can see the Berettas and everything on our side that we use. Probably the militia units weren't the best for assaulting. They're only really good if they're sitting in a place and it's assaulted upon. So they weren't the best for assaulting and taking on these kind of medium rifle squads that were coming from the enemy. But lots of infantry for Conquest, lots of support vehicles, a bit of AA in the background. But basically you have to saturate the area with infantry and support vehicles, and then bring in, as they did, lots of medium tanks. They brought in lots of Kylers, the Centurion Avras, which are so good if they can get into a good position. Players use a lot of mechanized decks for Conquest and stuff like that. My decks are more based around destruction, I guess, total destruction rather than Conquest, which let us down a little bit probably in this game. Vulcan's done really, really well to keep pushing back against this mass of units. We were on live on comms in this game, and it was quite good fun, I have to say. So I am trying to assault this little compound here to try and take it back from the enemy, as they actually reach their points total and get victory in the game. So a really intense, really quite long, but a nice game, a really exciting game to play. We did try our flank attacks, but the enemy were, you can see, they're a really good team. They've got really nice stats as well, and obviously used to playing as a team in Conquest, whereas we kind of just come together and have a game of total destruction now and again, and couldn't quite handle the mass attack of the enemy in the middle there at the start of the game, which really put us on the back foot. We did try the flank attacks, but again the enemy were good enough to have that completely covered and responded appropriately to anything that we did. So thanks to the enemy for providing us with such an entertaining game. Thanks to Vulcan. Please do check out his channel, Vulcan HD Gaming, when you get the chance. Link will be in the description below. Thanks to Silveraptor, who helps me do these deck building videos as well, and gives me lots of support for my channel, I have to say. Thanks to him. Thanks to you guys as well for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're going to comment on this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already and you want to see some more of this type of content, subscribe to the channel as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.